Okay, we are going to begin this weekend's batch of media availabilities. We are now joined by the driver of the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, Christopher Bell. We'll go ahead and just go straight to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll go ahead and get a mic to you. We'll start up here with Shane.
What's up, Christopher? So the Coca-Cola 600 is a race that's seen a lot of strong eventual champions, just top racers end up in victory lane. So for you to be able to get your name on that list a year ago, what does it say about the Coca-Cola 600 as a race?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a crown jewel event, and it's a really big deal. I hate that it got rain shortened last year because obviously it's known for the 600 miles. And, I want to win the 600-mile event, but Charlotte's been a great track for me the last couple years. Really, every next-gen race we've had, I've been really strong. My team's done really good. So, it's an honor to be able to compete in that event. Like the way that the whole weekend is celebrated there at Charlotte Motor Speedway is special. They do such a good job of making it feel like it's a big event, because it is a big event. And hopefully, I win a couple more races in my career, and it just adds to the Coca-Cola 600 legacy.
And there's all kinds of fanfare at any race at Charlotte. And what is it about the racetrack itself for having one race on the oval in the spring that produces such strong racing every year?
Yeah, I mean, just the next-gen car has obviously done really good at the intermediate tracks, and Charlotte has turned into a great racetrack for that next-gen rules package that we have. So, really, the intermediates that we go to that race well, that have multiple lines, that's what it's all about. And at Charlotte, it's really rough, so it makes the cars move around a little bit more, and it opens up the different lanes and makes passing a little bit easier there than at some of the other tracks.
Go ahead, Matt Weaver, and then we'll go to Steven Toronto.
Matt Weaver, the Sporting News. On a weekend where we're not trying the run what you brung style race, or we don't have the option tire, or quickly where we try to do something different for the AllStar Race, I'm curious, one, what is the identity of the AllStar Race this year, and do you have any ideas for what the identity of that race should be moving forward, where we take it or what we do with it?
Yeah, I mean, I was bummed that we didn't get to do the Run What You Brung thing. I thought, that was really cool. I understand the reasoning behind it, how it does open it does make it a really expensive event. But, yeah, I mean, I genuinely enjoy just trying different things. Like, I obviously haven't been around the sport for that terribly long. But, where are we at? Texas Motor Speedway, we tried a different rules package a couple years ago. Here we had the option tire, which I'm not a big fan of the option tire, but I think it's a good event to try that. And just, I would have loved to try something and see if you hit on something. I think this and the Clash are two events that are really, they're great opportunities to try to, improve our sport.
Does this feel like just another race, though, now because of that?
I mean, a little bit. The format is very unique, and obviously the purse is unique as well. So we won't race like it's any other event whenever the green flag drops. And that's one thing that really took me by surprise whenever I first got into the Cup Series is the All-Star Race it's not just another race. Like, everybody is way more aggressive here than what you see at a normal, Sunday Cup race. And it's... everyone, I think, has that win it or wear it attitude, and it races differently because of that.
Go to Steven, then we'll go to Dustin.
Steven Toronto, CBS Sports. Christopher, this weekend is pretty unique in the sense that it's not often that the Cup Series has a companion weekend with the Cars Tour, much less the Wheel and Modified Tour. Knowing that this has become a big showcase for the grassroots level, what is it like to come to a race and know that not only you have the big show with Cup trucks, anything nationally, but also to have the pro late models and late model stocks and the modifieds as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a huge opportunity for them, and I love that. I love having being able to showcase the lower levels of automobile racing, and for the late model guys, the modified guys, to be able to race on the same track that the Cup cars are at. It's a big stage. Obviously, the crowd's going to be really big all weekend long. So I think it's a great opportunity to showcase some of the young stars that are coming up, and you have a lot of industry personnel that will be paying attention to those events. That if they're off on their own, you might not otherwise get that attention. So. As a kid growing up, I always look forward to these events where you get to race alongside the big stage, and I love that we get to do that here.
Josh was in the pro late model race yesterday. Ryan Newman's going to be in the modified race. A couple other drivers are double dipping in some events as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the last late model race you did was New Smyrna. Do you have any other plans to run anything like that anytime soon?
No, not right now. I don't know. I learned to never say never, but I don't know what I don't have any planned as of now.
Thanks, Christopher.
Thank you.
I'm about to Dustin, then we'll go to the mill here.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Christopher, when somebody has a lot of success, people want to emulate their path to it. So when people look at how you've come to this level, what Kyle has done, and the success that you guys have had, and the dominance you guys have had this year, what is it like at your age to, and I'm assuming you've seen people say that, hey, I'm doing the Christopher Bell plan, or I'm putting my kid in this type of racing because of Christopher and Kyle, and do you see that, hear that, and what is that like at this point in your career, when I know you would say you still have so much more to accomplish?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, especially getting back to like my local tracks in Oklahoma, and just hearing that people are trying to follow and do what I did is really special. Even like the Toyota Racing Development deal, or the Toyota Driver Development deal, it's cool to be able to pioneer that path and have others that are following behind now. I look at Corey Heim. Looks like he's well on his way to being a Cup Series star at some point in his career through the TRD program, and I do take a lot of pride in that, and it's really cool to see, and I hope it continues. I would love to get more Oklahoma dirt racers that may not otherwise have the opportunity, like get more of those guys up here if they have the talent to do it.
For this weekend, what will you look at in terms of this track? Obviously, last year you were essentially the first guy who had pitted and got as far as anybody else for the most part last year. It was such a track position race. How do you fight through that, and what will you be looking at is looking at and trying to be able to pass anybody on the inside because of how difficult that was last year here? Yeah,
I mean, hopefully that's a little bit better this year. I think with age, the track should continue to race better and better. I thought last year it raced amazing for it being a repave. I don't think anybody expected it to get as wide as it did. So hopefully this year the track will open up a little bit more. Not having the option tire should make strategy a little bit more straightforward, and hopefully get the cream to the top. And that's all we want as racers and teams, is we want the best guys to win. So yeah, I mean, qualifying will be important. It's a very short race, but I'm hopeful that the track aging helps us pass a little bit better.
To the middle, then we'll go to Mark, and then to Ben.
Sky Sprinkle Race Face Digital. Christopher, this is our third year. We've had NASCAR back at this track. We have a little bit more time, compared to 2023 when we were all kind of in awe of it being back. Does it still hold the same value to you, A, being so young, and B, coming back as much as we have now? And what do you hope the future of the track looks like? Yeah, I mean, I think this is an amazing racetrack, and definitely, that weekend in 2023 when we came for the first time was super, super special. And I think, the fans turned out, and obviously it's turned out to be a huge success. So hopefully the future of this venue is to have a Cup Series race year in and year out. I think it's a deserving venue. We should be at these racetracks. And I think there's a lot more tracks throughout the country that we, the sport should invest in and bring back. I would love to continue to diversify the schedule and get to where we're going to tracks only one time a year, and I think the crowds would be much larger if that was the case.
Go to Mark next.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Christopher, you win 3 in a row, 3 out of the first 4, and lately you've done everything but win. 2 runner-ups, a third, I think 5 top 10s the last 6 races. How do you view your season, and is there any frustration continuing to run up front but not getting another victory?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. And frankly, we've been finishing a lot better than we probably should be finishing after the last couple weeks. So we were fast at the beginning of the year. We had really good racetracks for us, like Coda, Phoenix. Atlanta's a speedway, so I don't know how much that we can account for. But the last couple of weeks we've been a lot or heavy on the intermediate package, and one thing that we've learned is that we've been not as strong on the intermediate package as we have hoped to have been. So a couple of those finishes, like Kansas this past weekend, Darlington, even Texas Motor Speedway, like those are 3 races that we outperformed our car potential. And so we need to be faster for sure on that intermediate package specifically. Being on the low downforce package or the short track package this weekend, I'm optimistic that we will have the car performance to compete for a win. But we're still searching for that in the high downforce stuff.
Are you surprised you haven't won again after you started like that and have had a number of good finishes?
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm not surprised we haven't won, because winning is very hard. But I've definitely been surprised about just lacking pace on the intermediate tracks. Like at the end of last year, we did really well at the intermediates and was one of the strongest contenders. And the last couple of weeks, week in and week out, we just haven't been there yet. So hopefully we make gains on it. I feel like Kansas was probably a little bit better than what we had at Texas and Darlington. So if we can make another step like that going into Charlotte, maybe we'll be contending for the win. But we're definitely lacking a little bit at this point in time.
Last question. You're 85 points out as far as the driver points are concerned. So with all those top 10s, you've actually lost ground, right? 2 runner-ups, a third, 5 out of 6, and you've lost ground. Can you make that up? Is it possible still to win the regular season championship minus 85 at this point? And how do you feel about losing ground, even though you've had good finishes?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, and I think it's up for grabs for a lot of guys inside the top 10 of the regular season right now. But losing ground, that's just a good indication that we're not running as well as we need to be running. And just starts with qualifying. Qualifying leads into stage 1 points, and our stage, we just haven't been running well enough to earn stage points. And like I said, we've been squeaking out good finishes, but we haven't been performing well enough throughout the races to get those stage points. And then that's been the difference between myself and the 2 Hendrick cars up front. So even my teammate Denny, if it wasn't for 2 mechanical failures, he would have been up there as well. So need to be running better, and everyone on this 20 team knows it, and we're working hard to get there.
Oh, man, then we'll go Chris.
Ben White, Fayetteville, North Carolina Observer. I need you to do me a favor and look about 5 weeks ahead to Indianapolis. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it's a really big race going back to the oval. How do you prepare yourself for that mentally? I mean, I've talked to other people who've said we start thinking about Indy in February. How do you do it mentally and physically and all that?
Yeah. So I mean, definitely. There's 3 or 4 races throughout the year that are the big ones. You got Daytona, Charlotte, Indy, and then the Southern 500. And if you're fortunate enough to make the championship race, but Indy it's a huge deal, and it's definitely back. I mean, it didn't feel like the same venue whenever you're on the road course. So I'm very grateful that we're back on the oval, and certainly it's one that every driver in the field and every driver in America would love to win and compete in the Brickyard 400. So, yeah, it's definitely one that we have circled. We know means a lot. There's a lot of history that rides on that race, and it's a special event that we definitely don't take lightly.
We'll wrap up with Chris.
Chris Weaver, WGHP, Fox 8, and Nexstar Media Group. Looking forward to next week, going back to the place where you won a race last year. Won that big race last year. Even though it was shortened, how do you look forward to that long race and making sure you can get to the end of 400 laps? Anything special you get in your mindset, kind of like talking about the Indy race? And what do you look forward to the most about the race weekend at Charlotte?
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte is such a fun racetrack that it's easy to look forward to, but 600 miles is no joke, and it is very difficult to stay focused and make sure that your body's in good condition to be able to compete at the end of that race. So it's a really big event. It's a long event, and definitely one that you got to prepare for, but you can't just show up and run. So I am very excited about it because the track itself is a ton of fun to race on. And hopefully we get good weather and it stays dry. We get all 600 miles in this year.
All right, Christopher, well, thank you for your time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys.